of 10 Cats. In Rhod we trust, it's Rhod Gilbert. He knows his onions, Gregg Wallace. And their team captain, Jon Richardson. And facing them tonight, Angel of the North, it's Sarah Millican. Read all about it, it's Silverton. And their team captain, Sean Locke. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 51% of kids think the world will be a better place in 10 years? And they're right. It'll be great, especially if you're a big fan of nuclear fallout and fighting for petrol with a spear made out of a human thigh bone. The average couple argues 312 times a year. It's actually 310 times, but try telling her that. 90% of Taiwan's teenagers feel anxious when they can't use their mobile phones. Boo-hoo. Taiwan's Minister of Technology is looking into it. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. Obviously, the biggest story of the year is the news of the world, phone hacking. So tonight, we're looking for the other biggest stories of the last 12 months. Sean Seam, what do you think of the other biggest stories of the year?
Ladies, take it away.
It's got to be the royal wedding, hasn't it?
Yeah,
The royal wedding, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, God, what a magical day that was. I need to stop crying. It's just so... She was so beautiful. Was it? The dress, when she came out the thing. She's wearing a dress. Oh, no.
It was a lovely day because the M6 was really quiet. I just took advantage of the quiet roads.
Did neither of you watch it?
I watched it, yeah. In the nude. It's my little protest.
It was one of the most boring things I've ever watched on TV.
Oh, come on.
It was? What do you
Why?
mean? No, come on. My girlfriend made me watch it. The whole family came around and I was bored shitless. Did anybody here seriously watch it? I just don't get it.
I watched
simply don't
it.
get it.
We celebrated in quite a big way in my house. We got a McDonald's breakfast. And we watched it in bed. It was pretty good.
Did you get the McDonald's delivered to your bed? You reached those dizzy heights?
I got a butler. No, my poor, long-suffering girlfriend went to McDonald's and got coffees.
Your girlfriend went to McDonald's?
Yeah. We thought we'd celebrate in style. We thought we'd watch the royal wedding the way it's meant to be enjoyed.
Basically,
At home
she
making...
said, you're watching this with me, and you said, only if you get me McDonald's. Is that
Yes.
It was one of those things where not only did I hate that it was happening, but I hated that people were enjoying it. I hated seeing happy people buying crap and thinking... They waved a flag for 2 hours and then they binned it. 140 tons of crap that no one knows where it went. I reckon Nick Griffin just went around in a transit, just grabbing all... He's just at home rubbing Union Jacks on himself now, flossing with bunting like that.
Well, you were romantic, Kate. Did you enjoy it?
Well, I think so. I mean, it was the first time in, 350 years that someone outside royalty or aristocracy had married into our royal family. I think they genuinely
Well, let's face it, the gene pool could use a little chlorine at that stage.
Yeah. But now it's Pippa, really, that the focus is on.
Well, the
Pippa, I don't know if you're aware of this, but Pippa has a bum.
Worse than being outshone by your sister on your wedding day is being outshone by your sister's arse. That's just so much more upsetting. Not the rest of it, just her arse.
But that was the best thing about it. Well, the rest of it was just... Because I don't understand the rest of it. It's better than getting excited about whether he's going to kiss her a second time. Hang on, is he going to kiss her? He's going to go for it. Is he? Are we going to get... The commentator's going, are we going to get 2 kisses? Are we going to get... Of course you were, because the crowd was shouting, kiss her, kiss her! He was just under pressure when he was bullied into it. If they'd been shouting, whip her dress up and show us her chimney, he'd have done it.
Now, Greg, you got married recently, right?
Yeah, my lovely wife, Heidi.
How did you meet your wife?
On Twitter.
Were you following her, or...?
She was following me.
Like a lazy stalker?
Well, you chat to your followers, and then this girl was clever, obviously clever, and she was funny. And I looked at her picture and I thought, fuck. You're beautiful. Yeah.
Did you sell it to Hello or OK or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Hello, yeah, and the honeymoon. As soon as you get Hello involved, everyone seems to want to discount your wedding and your honeymoon by a serious percentage, so it seems silly not to.
And if you ever want to remember your wedding, just go to the dentist. Win-win. It's a win-win.
Oh, I've got to get a root canal, but oh, what a lovely day we had. Perfect. Kate, did you get married as well recently?
I got married in December.
And now you're knocked up. Oh.
I know. He works fast. Yeah.
Does he? Well, never mind. How did you meet?
Well, I was going off to Iraq, and you have to do a course called a hostile environments course. And generally, you get kidnapped, hood over your head, tied up, beaten up a little bit.
And then he did that to you, and then you went, should we go for a...
And then he took me off into the bush. Yeah, no. And then... You have to negotiate yourself out of the situation. I'm just digging myself into a really big hole.
You had to negotiate yourself out of the situation?
Yeah.
What did you offer?
Money I've wasted on Jamie's Italians.
OK, let's see if the royal wedding is one of the most talked about things in the last 12 months. Yes, of course. The royal wedding was an amazing moment. If you're wondering how William wooed Kate Middleton, he did have the best chat-up line of all time. Nice face, love. Look better on a stamp. Sarah Ferguson has revealed that Prince Andrew carried a photo of her to the royal wedding, as did all the security men. John's team, what do you think the nation have been talking about?
Well, last 12, I'd say one of the biggest stories of my lifetime, as it was reported in the Mail. Pensioner attacked in his own home by foreigners as his wife and son watched. As we reported it, Bin Laden shot.
Didn't they identify him by after he was... Like, they shot him first. Like,
always the best way?
Always the best way. Shot him first, and then they identified him, didn't they?
Yes.
But they didn't know... They didn't have any really, like, accurate way of identifying him, but they knew he was 6'4", so they got... One of the Army SEAL, the Navy SEAL boys, the Americans, was about that height, so they got him to lie next to the corpse. This is what they did. That's how they reckoned it, you know. Yeah. And then they knew he didn't like butter, so they had a buttercup under his chin.
True story.
It's just, when you read it, it's unbelievable. They lay somebody down next to him. Oh, shit, we've shot Ronnie Corbett. It's the wrong fella.
I don't think it's right to go in and kill somebody without trial. I'm slightly disturbed by it, you know. I mean, I moved out of Peckham for the same reason.
Sean, do you think he should have been killed?
I don't think he should have been shot for a couple of reasons, but I think it's a shame, really, for all his kids, because he'll never get a chance to see them blow themselves up. Proud moment for any religious maniac, and that's been taken from him. I think that's the same. Also, I think they should have kidnapped him and then made him play a gay cheerleader in Glee. Wear a pink tracksuit with Juicy across the arse. I think that would have sent a stronger message.
Let's have a look and see whether Osama bin Laden is one of the most talked about things of the last 12 months. Yes, it is, number 2. Osama is regarded by many as a hero, particularly within the hide-and-seek community. One thing still to get. Fingers on buzzers.
Charlie Sheen! Crazy Charlie Sheen! Oh. He was all over YouTube and the press for his amazing rants. Winning!
He kept on saying that was his catchphrase, yeah.
Winning!
Yeah. Loser. Yeah. And so let's have a look at Charlie Sheen in action.
All these radio rants have people thinking Charlie Sheen has got to be on drugs again.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I am on a drug. It's called Charlie Sheen. It's not available because if you try it once, you will die. Your face will melt off and your children will weep over your exploded body. Too much.
Some are saying that you're bipolar.
Wow, what does that mean?
I guess that, you know, you're on two ends of the spectrum.
Wow. And then what? What's the cure? Medicine? Make me like them? Not gonna happen. I'm bi-winning.
There was a theory that he was putting it on for just publicity, just to mess around, just to get out of his contract. What do you think?
If he was putting it on, then Charlie Sheen is the greatest actor of our time. Yeah. And having watched 2.5 Men, Charlie Sheen is not the greatest actor of our time. He's sleeping with prostitutes and, like, porn stars who have his name tattooed on their feet.
It's a bit cool.
I think the whole he's living with 2 porn stars. I think it sounds great, but the reality, I think it's bloody awful. Like, they come home from work and he goes, "Do you have a nice day?" And they come in and they're going, "Oh." Trixie didn't come in, had to do overtime. Oh, what a bloody day.
He was earning $45 million a year, and he still had to go to the studio and ask to borrow 10 million more.
No, he might have just not had any cash that day. You know, like, lend us a 20 quid or...
So I need 10 million?
Yeah.
If you went to the bank...
It's all relative, isn't it?
If you went to the bank and said, "I need a loan," and they said, "What do you earn?" and you went 45 million, they would probably question where you'd spent all that.
No, you'd get it because you could obviously prove you could pay it back.
Yeah, when you're tired and you're going, "I'll pay it back from the space monkeys who come down. Inject the cash into my dreams and I shit it into your bank account."
Surprisingly, that's not one of our top 3 biggest stories. OK, fingers on buzzers. One more thing to get. What else have the nation been talking about this last year?
Is it the Chilean miners?
Oh, the Chilean miners. Tell me about the Chilean miners. Do you like the Chilean miners?
Lost 30... Well, you can't not like them, really, can you? What sort of sour, miserable bastard would you be? Bloody hate those 33 miners who survived that tragedy. Yeah, of course you like them.
Was there one who'd been with his partner for 25 years, and when he came out, he proposed to her? Do you think she engineered the whole thing? Women really like a proposal.
What's it gonna take?
I bet the honeymoon period didn't last long. It was like, "Oh, so wonderful, you're back." Within about a week, they're going, sometimes I wish you were still down that fucking...
You know, when they were running out of food and they were, like, eating 2 spoonfuls of tuna every 2 days or something, half a biscuit and half a glass of milk. That's what they were having. Then when they were down to 2 tins of tuna, and they all got together at that point and they prayed to have double the amount of tuna they had. Why would you just pray... If you had 2 tins of tuna between 33 people, if you were praying, why not go for a little bit more than 4 tins of tuna? It's a bit like, you know, when Terry Waite was chained to that radiator for 4 years, it's a bit like him praying and asking God to turn the thermostat down. Why didn't they ask for 6 tins or a tin each? Or
yeah, maybe they didn't really like tuna that much.
Apparently they didn't talk about cannibalism, but you thought, it's not surprising when they're all emaciated and just covered in soot, is it? If you sent Gregg down, covered in parsley with a chocolate orange in his mouth, would have been on him like piranhas in a Bond film, just a pair of glasses left after 5 minutes.
I can't understand, once they found them, why it took so long to get them out.
Sorry, what?
They were down a mine.
They were down a mine?
Yeah, but they found them. They had television pictures of them, and it still took 3 months to get them out. They were getting food down, TV cameras down, pool tables, jukeboxes, and then they couldn't get one single one of them up.
You know what? I thought you were crazy, but you make a very interesting point.
I think what they should have done, they should have played a trick on them. Like, the first one to come up, everyone should have been dressed in alien monkey costumes. He comes out, he goes... Big pot and a ladder going up to it. There's 33 left and we're hungry. I thought it was weird that the last guy to come up, I felt sorry for him, because he was the last one to come up. The Chilean president grabbed him and said, "Would you like to join me in singing the Chilean national anthem?" And it's really long. It went on for about 15 minutes, like Chile, Felicidad, Le Montagne, oh, the color cheese and all this. And I was thinking, that's not the song they should have sang. They should have sang the theme tune to Shaft. Who is the man who'd risk his neck for his brother man? Shaft! Can you dig it?
Let's have a look and see if the Chilean miners are one of the most talked about things. Yes, the Chilean miners emerged last October after 69 days in the mine. The miners went to visit Manchester United after they were rescued. And if anyone knows what it's like to be buried deep in a dangerous hole for months on end, it's Ryan Giggs. So at the end of that round, Sean, Sarah and Kate have 2 points. John, Gregg and Rhod have 1. Welcome back to 8 out of 10 Cats. Our next round is Pick of the Polls. OK, John's team, what are you going to go for? What do you like the look of?
Well, we've only got one choice, really, haven't we? I think we'll pick the person that is sat next to me.
Go on, then.
We asked the studio audience, would you complain if you were served a terrible meal, yes or no? What do you think this audience said?
I never have.
Hands up who said yes.
No, do not do that. Do not help him.
I did look.
Of course he put his hand up. God love him, he's happy just to be indoors.
I don't believe people say that they would complain. I don't think people do complain over here in Great Britain. I think we're far too polite, especially in restaurants.
You're not.
Well, I'm very polite.
Sorry, have you not seen your show?
Let's say on that show, we only ever critique someone's food, not their personality.
It'd be better telly, though, if you went, oh, that's amazing, but you're such a dick.
What's the worst thing you've had on MasterChef? What's the worst?
I think we had a fella who happily roasted a quail beautifully and, for reasons best known to himself, stuck it on top of a chocolate cake.
Sorry, can I just... I'm not even looking, but I presume Sarah's mouth is watering. Sarah's going, finally, I can enjoy chicken.
It's like Nando's and Thornton's.
Wow!
Sean, have you ever complained in a restaurant?
I always complain.
But at what point do you complain? Because you can complain and then you worry about what's going to happen to your food when it comes back.
Yeah, you can. I complain, but I never eat what they bring back, unless my complaint is this hasn't got enough spit in it.
If something's not right, I don't see why. It's a real... That's why service is shit in this country, and that's why food is shit in this country. Ooh. It's getting better. But generally, if you go to a service station in France or in Italy or Spain, just so the level of food that everyone can experience, is you can have great food. You go to a service station in this country, the food is virtually... It's like being in a lab with some horrible experiment with sausages and Jif or something. It's just...
I agree with you that food at the basic level, when you really want it, when you're starving, is rubbish. Whose rule is it that we had to put sandwiches in a fridge?
Yes, yeah.
You know, they don't have sandwiches in a fridge in Spain, and they're not all dying of warm sandwich disease.
And more importantly, who's the person, when they're making the sandwiches, pushes all the cheese to the front? And you look at it, it's like, you know, it's like, imagine if you're trying to fall in love in Iran, you've only got the eyes to go on. There's loads of cheese in there, and then you open the sandwich, and there's just like a little cheese hill going down to nothing.
I once bought a baked potato in a big food hall in Australia, and...
You travel for lunch, don't you?
I was in Australia and I bought, I can't remember where, and I bought a baked potato in one of those polystyrene things. I opened it up, and as I was there was a piece of shelving bracket. L-shaped shelving bracket, I swear to God, in the baked potato, and I took it back to the bloke, and he goes, you know, that's nothing to do with me, mate. And I pointed behind him, and there was literally a shelf like that behind
So we asked you, student, would you complain if they were served a terrible meal? What do you think, yes or no?
I wouldn't. I would just never go back there again. So I don't think people would.
So you think they wouldn't complain? Yeah. Sean, what do you think?
The clue is in the word terrible. If it's a terrible meal,
yes,
you would
I think they would complain,
You think they would? OK, I can tell you the answer is yes. 79% of the studio audience would complain if they got a terrible meal. I tried to reason with them. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here's your question. Best thing about living alone? John.
What, mate? I'm never alone. Never alone, am I, John? No, you're not, John. You're always with people, John, yeah. John and John are going to have a good chat about you when John gets home. I'm seriously learning to deal with spiders. That's it. There's no one else to do it. Generally, I'm a shrieker, but living on my own, I thought... Because used to, if there was a spider, I would just move to the next room. And then, once you've used all the rooms, you got, right, we've got to learn how to deal with this.
So spiders following you from room to room. Surely you can just keep going round.
No, there's loads of them.
Taunting him.
Oh, so hang on, so one spider stays in the lounge, he's got that covered, and then you go into the bedroom, you're right there for a few months, and you go, hang on, he's gone in the bedroom, we'll send another one in there, but you stay in the lounge.
They're like a SWAT team clearing terrorists. Clear! Where's the next one? Clear!
What do you think the best thing about living on your own? Rhod?
It's the freedom to pleasure yourself to something weird like songs of praise and... And if you live with somebody, then Let's say you died in the act, then if you live with somebody, they'll find you straight away, and that'll be embarrassing forever for your memory. And if you live on your own, then by the time they found you years later, your rotted corpse or whatever, songs of praise will have finished, and they'll just find a pile of innocent dust next to a box of tissues and a single white glove. And you will look like a snooker ref who died of a cold.
I wander around in my pants a lot, and I live in a block of flats, and opposite me is another block of flats, and the flat opposite mine's been empty the whole time, so I just wander around. I don't got curtains, I just wander around in my pants. But then a friend of mine came round and she spotted that like some young lads had just moved in, and she said, oh, maybe you should get yourself some curtains. And so as far as I'm concerned, if some young lads are looking at me wandering around in my knickers, I'm still the winner, aren't I, really? I just wonder how long it's going to take them to get some curtains up.
It's been a long time since I lived on my own. What I miss, I like about living on my own is all the songs I used to make up. Get up at the kettle on and make a cappuccino. Make myself a cup of tea with sugar. Hot tea if you should. Shall we have a biscuit? Yeah, 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 yeah. Those songs.
I don't have the creativity to make my own. I used to steal existing. I go like, coffee time. Can't drink this. Why not? It's too hot.
I think we have a hit on our hands. What do you think the best thing about living on your own?
Is it the remote? Control of the remote?
Oh, yeah,
that is the right answer. I'll give you that.
Well
That's
done.
close enough.
Yeah.
Well, that sound tells me that it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are John, Gregg and Rhod have 2 points. Sean, Sarah and Kate have 1 with 4. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. If you want more, tune in to 8 out of 10 Cats Uncut on Wednesday. That's it from us. Good night.